Hi, my name is Phil Hassey from capioIT, and I'm here today to talk about Zoho and AI. I'd like to introduce Ram, who's the head of Zoho's AI team.
Thank you, Phil, for having me here.
Would you be able to, in this ever-changing world of AI, just explain your role and the function of AI within Zoho? Could take some while to discuss.
Sure, yeah. So I'm the director of AI research for Zoho. I head this AI group in this team called Zoho Labs, where we look at common problems that exist across Zoho Corp suite of products and then offer solutions. So we have a database team, we have a hardware acceleration team, and then we also have an AI team, which is the central framework team, and then we deliver it as APIs to product teams, because product teams know the domain better, know the customers better, know the competition better. And my role per se, I started off as an intern in 2011. I was the first to dabble with AI in Zoho. I mean, back then it was a consumer grade technology, and we were trying to see if it would really fit the enterprise. A lot of experiments. And then 2015 onwards, we started building a team around me, and then we got multiple little AI features out there. 2018, we went big on chatbots. That's where we introduced Zia, Zoho's intelligent assistant. And now we are here at the LLM wave. So we have ridden all the waves of the AI out there. We strongly believe that AI is here to complement. AI is a part of the equation. I would think of it like enterprise search. I would think of it like single sign-on. And these are essentials in an enterprise software today. Same way, Zoho sees AI as the prompter that tells you the next best action at any given point in time. Okay, so you're facing a customer escalation. What's your next best action? You're going to a meeting with a high value prospect. What's your next best action? How can you best prepare for the meeting? So we see AI sprinkled across Zoho suite of products. We see that as an intelligent assistant to be around, be a good summarizer, look at all data points in your system, and then give you the next best action to do. I hope that, I mean, it was kind of all over the place, but I hope that gave
I think it's interesting too how the sprinkling, if you like, of AI, the magic dust, I guess, of AI, it means that customers are going to use it sometimes without even realizing it.
Right.
Or by the time they realize it, they've already been using it. So that embeddedness is actually makes it more of a supportive technology tool than a tool that's really going to negatively impact organizations. It's supporting the
so today's consumer grade LLM is, you have to set the context, you have to prompt, you have to give all the information. Now bring that to the enterprise context. You have to copy paste information from a lot of stuff into a chatbot and then make the chatbot understand what situation you are in, versus let's take something like you receiving an email, and ever since the email landed in your inbox, it goes through some ham spam check, it goes through a malicious attachment check, it goes to a phishing check, then it looks at the degree of conversation you had with that particular sender, and depending on that, it assigns a priority to it. And once that is done, now let's say it's a calendar invite, then you're going for a meeting, then can you look at all conversations against your CRM system, your help desk system, and find out what the agenda is and maybe help you prepare for a meeting. Now, all of this even without you clicking a button, because the context is already available in the system. So you could call it naturally happening, or it organically happened without you having to prompt and say, hey, I've got this meeting invite with so-and-so customer. Can you help me prep for this meeting? These are the past infractions. These are the past support tickets that are open. These are the escalations that happened in the last 4 weeks and so on. Now all of that is baked, and all you get to see is a crisp summary of what you have to prepare for the meeting.
Yeah, it's just a natural evolution of technology. The first time you used email, the first time, we did so many things in our day-to-day business and personal lives. You don't realize it's happening until you're getting the value from.
We were working on system of records so far. Now this is evolving into a system of intelligence. It's evolving into a system of experiences.
Yeah, we're moving very quickly here. Where do you think we're going to be? Is 2 years too hard to say where we're going to be in 2 years because things move so quickly?
Yeah, I kind of draw a parallel to the whole digital transformation idea. I mean, it has been around for 15 years now, 20 years now. And we are still doing digital transformation. So we see that this AI capabilities across, I mean, let's go back to 2011-12. You had some past information, you tried to create some learning out of it, and then you used it to give you predictions at the current day, current scenario. Then you had the past information from across the internet. LLMs are nothing but summarize the internet. You could ask anything on top of it. So this keeps evolving. Your model gets more emergent. Your model is able to create stuff. Your model is able to generate stuff. So I think we will keep integrating AI into the stack without multiple touch points where a lot of context is baked in, and then you give the next best action to do at any given point in time. I would say in 3 years, we should have a lot of maturity. One thing I have observed is the more digitally mature players are getting the return on investment on AI maturity.
All the research I've done on that is really strong outcomes in cloud, really strong processes. The return on investment across Asia Pacific and globally just goes up. You just don't wake up today and become an AI organization. I'm sure you've had clients go,
yes,
make us an AI organization by 5 o'clock tonight if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Because we see that you have to maintain your system of records to be consistent. I think it's not just the customer to blame. The way SaaS evolved, we were selling tools to departments. And just because these tools don't talk to each other, these departments don't talk to each other. So naturally, you create a data silo, you create a process silo. And AI does not like silos. I mean, if you have silos, you know information, you don't need AI to get you the inference. But when your AI cuts across your CRM help desk and your inbox, when your AI cuts across your sales call recordings, your CRM records, and then the transaction record of a customer, now that is where we see productivity bump. Now, having your system of records right, having no data silos, having no process silos, and invest in existing rule-based automation. You've not done any automation and you expect overnight AI to work. It's not going to happen. Have some rule-based automation. Replace that with AI. And the other trend that we see is it's a lot of these profit centers. Typically you look at 10 departments in the company. The profit centers are more digitized, and we see more AI in the profit centers than the cost centers.
Yes, but that gap needs to come down.
I mean,
pull back in the line. You've got to get the benefits to be 100% of the organization and employees to get the buy-in and get the value and the change management side of that. One key attribute of Zoho has been around privacy and respecting organizational data, organizational security. Really interested in how that's fermenting from a Gen AI point of view.
Yeah, so we are privately held but publicly responsible. I mean, we take privacy very seriously. We have the most stringent privacy policies, and that applies to AI as well. We strongly believe customers' data is customers' data, and it will only be used for their benefit. So we recently announced ZI LLM. Again, the idea is the fact that today a lot of these software as service companies, a lot of these SaaS companies spend a huge chunk of their profits into buying cloud, right? They spend a huge chunk of their profits into AWS, Azure, GCP and all that. But we play the long game, and we invested in our own data centers. Increasingly, we are seeing these companies spend on model service providers. Now, that takes a huge chunk of their profits. Now, the reason behind launching ZI LLM is we see that clearly these model service providers could eventually evolve into enterprise software players because they get high quality signals from these enterprise tools. And I'm sure they cannot make money with just being a model service player. So to avoid all that data harvesting, that is the reason we got in ZI LLM. That's the reason we have built a model ground up that is specific to the enterprise. I mean, we're not trying to compete with an OpenAI here. It's an enterprise specific model that will be deployed in your instance and will look at your data and will evolve based on your interactions with the system.
Yeah, I think that's the importance of that privacy alongside the organizational frameworks that we've talked about is the real sort of two of the big key pushes to make AI both ethically friendly and add business value for the organization. One thing in Australia that Australia is grappling with a bit is productivity, as are most markets around the world.
Yeah.
And the front line, everyone talks about the productivity from Gen AI, but it's not that easy. How can organizations change to improve not just the return on investment, the productivity they get from investments in Gen AI?
Yeah. So like I said earlier, more digitally mature you are, more connected processes, more connected data. But again, privacy is also important. So let's say we both work for the same company. I should not be able to search through your inbox. I should not be able to search through your payroll, right? So having that pieces right, once you have the system of records right, that's when you will be able to reap the return on investment. And given today's AI pace, I mean, One thing is, you see this as a natural, like you rightly said, you see this as a natural evolution of technology and not some magic that happened overnight and it's going to change the way. And AI is hyped, right?
Yeah.
The name itself, I mean, it's not artificial, it's not intelligence, but it's hyped. It's known to overpromise and underdeliver. So all of a sudden we see media funneling hype like, I mean, how does your job look like in the next 1 year? Because AI is going, no, not going to happen. See, we deployed AI in our company. In Zoho Corp, we are an 18,000 people company. We deployed AI into our legal process. We deployed AI into our high volume support process.
Yep.
We were able to see only a 20 to 30% improvement in productivity. Things like mean time taken to resolve tickets, mean time taken to first response, number of tickets closed by a human agent in 1 week. Some overlapping 15 metrics that we took, we were able to see a 20 to 30% productivity increase, and it's never been in a multiple. Never something that could displace jobs and let AI, and our customers don't want us to use AI for support. I mean, you don't want to, you pay a subscription to us and then you have a bot replying to you, then that's not.
Yeah, you want a bot to tell you the weather, but you don't want a bot to tell you how to improve your security of your software deployment. Are you seeing any industry trends, any industries from Zoho? And you tend to be an industry agnostic organization, although you have clients across all scales of industry, company size, and in 150 countries.
Yeah.
So is there anything, whether it's industry, company size, that you see sticking up from an AI point of view?
Directly proportional to the level of digitization.
It's still back to that core principle. If you know your business, know your technology.
So we see banking, finance to be at the top. Sales and marketing, these are the places where we see a lot of AI being deployed. So it's like application of an AI is twofold. One is revenue maximization. Two is process optimization.
Yeah.
We don't find many examples of process optimization yet. I mean, it is available, but then the
it's all the sales and marketing led.
Yes. It's all I would say it's money hunting.
Yeah. Which gives it's good in a way because that gives credibility to the return on the investment and to the business case that this is going to make us X units of revenue increase or whatever.
And like you rightly pointed out earlier, we are in the initial phase of the wave, so we will slowly see this coming to other departments as well.
And if you've got a customer who comes to you and doesn't understand Gen AI, what's the first thing they should do? Assume they're digitally okay. They're in an okay position from a digital investment. What's the first thing they should do?
Okay, I think the first thing that they should try is not let an AI take a decision, right? But have an AI summarize things for you. Where what information would you be able to get in 5 to 6 clicks? Can you make it promptable? Now you get a feel of the system. You get a hang of how this thing works, and it's dumb sometimes. So before you put that into decision automation, involve that in summarizing information, involve that in extracting or facilitating information from your system. Now, let's say I have my HRMS system and I want to know how many casual leaves I have left. I want to know what the dental insurance policy is. Now, it is like 5 clicks reading through a big document. And now, can you make that as a chatbot? Can you let your employees try and get a hang of AI systems within the tool? Now, you don't want them copy pasting your sensitive information into a third-party LLM, that is shadow AI. You don't want them to do that because there is sensitive information, there are business secrets, and just because they could write a better email with good grammar and good language, you don't want that sensitive information to leave your organization boundary. So treat AI as a summarizer. Find places where you can do that, and that's where you start doing it. And once you get a hang of it, and once you have a properly digitized stream, then bring in decision making where AI automates decisions on which it is confident. So start. That'd be a good start.
Yeah. You mentioned shadow AI.
Yeah.
Shadow tech has been an issue now for 20, 25 years. Yeah. Just interested in your thoughts on shadow AI. Obviously, it's very dangerous to an organization. Can be illegal in certain organizations if the wrong data goes out. Just your thoughts on how to sort of manage yourself out of an organizational shadow AI crisis.
Yeah, I think it's important to, a lot of security and compliance goes into continuous education, right? And also giving the right set of tools. Now, if you are able to have a lot of these emergent capabilities into your own software tools, then nobody is going to copy paste information into a third party language. We saw this in 2018. In fact, we built our grammar and translation engines in 2018 for the very same reason. We found out that people were copy pasting sensitive enterprise information into tools that were meant for the consumer, a browser extension, just so they could fix the grammar, just so they could make their writing style more.
Yeah.
And that could have information, a competitive secret that could have some API key information of a customer, which their customer wants. It's not even this organization's data. So we built in-editor translation, we built in-editor grammar correction, and we see the same thing coming to LLMs as well. You don't want to copy paste information into it. You have that within the system where all context signals come directly from the system and not you having to prompt, right? You don't have to prompt when the context is already set very clearly, very tightly within the scope of the system. That is the beauty.
Yeah, the way I've had to explain it to business and family members is as good as putting your PIN or your passcode to the world. Taking your data and dropping it in an LLM and asking it for improve the grammar is exactly the same outcome as dropping your PIN on your password for your credit card. 12 months ago, no one had heard of agentic AI, and it's come with a enormous way, probably challenging Gen AI in terms of its scale, its interest. So interested in what Zoho is doing from an agentic point of view and how your clients are going to be able to benefit from agents.
Yeah. Okay. In theory, I would say this whole agentic AI thing is where, it's the PC to internet transformation. You had an LLM that was siloed, that was trained at some point, some 3 months back, and you gave internet connection to the LLM with agents. So the question on how many open tickets do I have is different from this minute. The previous minute it was different. The next minute it's going to be different. And I need an agent to go fetch the real-time information and give you back the answer. So this is where agentic systems are. Agentic systems make LLM useful in the enterprise environment, in the dynamic, ever-changing environment. We will see a lot of use cases that are built around agents. Basically, it's the internet browsing capability of LLMs. That's what I would say. Now, you have an agent in your system. Remember the examples we spoke about, preparing for a meeting. Now, you have 10 different tools that you use. All of that is configured into the agentic platform. It goes and fetches information from all the tools that you use. This is where agentic systems are headed to. We launched our agentic AI. We call it Zoho Agent Studio, where you can build your own agents. Of course, Zoho products will have a bunch of pre-built agents as well. But with AI, we have been increasingly seeing every company's AI is very different. You take a top Australian bank. Their AI requirements are very different from a similar top Australian bank.
Yeah.
That was not the case with CRM. I mean, if you have one reference customer, then you could sell to everybody else in that domain. But AI requirements are very different because it changes up according to the level of digitization you have in your system. So we've made something called an agent studio, which is low code, promptable. You can build agents and for your requirements. We also have an agent marketplace where you can monetize it. We're also opening up our data sets via an MCP server so that, we see that information is going to be free-flowing across systems. And if you want your system to be opened up, to be used with other third-party LLMs, other third-party tools that you've been using in your setup, then the MCP server opens up all that. So recent announcements include an LLM, an agent studio, and an MCP server.
I think the point to make too, that has to happen along with what we've talked about privacy, and about security. You've got to make sure that you're doing this in a very secure organization, taking into account employee and customer data.
Yeah, that becomes super important because we've collected data over the years. Any business has collected data over the years. Now you have to use it to your competitive advantage. And in the consumer world, it's very different. Your privacy subsidizes your software, right? I don't pay for my search engine. I don't pay for my social network. Instead, I give back my personal information.
Yes.
You cannot afford to do the same thing in the enterprise, right? It's your competitive advantage. It's your secret, and you don't want to monetize it so that you get subsidized software.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks so much, Ran. That was a really interesting discussion. The future is going to change a lot in front of us, but certainly Zoho is trying to get on top of that from a technology point of view.
Yeah, appreciate the opportunity, Phil. I enjoy talking to you. And so privacy agents are going to be the next 1 year flavor of the season. So let's wait and watch.
Excellent. Thank you.